Hi, this is Niyanta Spelman with Rainforest Partnership, bringing to you Our Planet, Our Future, a video podcast presented by Rainforest Partnership. Find us at www.rainforestpartnership.org and on social media. Join us as we bring interesting and compelling guests to talk about the environment, climate change, and rainforests. Hi, I'm Niyanta Spelman with Rainforest Partnership, and I'm here with José Valdivieso of Conservación y Dessarrollo. We're in Quito, Ecuador, in the offices of Conservación y Dessarrollo, which is co-located with Aroma Ecuador, which is the business entity that the nonprofit owns. I'm really excited to be here this last week, spending time with you, Jose. We started partnering with CED, Conservación y Dessarrollo, back in 2008, and we're just renewing that partnership. So tell us more about what Conservación y Desarrollo is, why you created Aroma Ecuador, and then we'll do another segment where we're going to walk around and show people what this is.
Yeah, we've been almost 10 years. 10 years, very good friendship, a very good partnership, like Rainforest Partnership. That's the name. Yeah, why Conservación y Desarrollo is really a scientist group and technician group that has a lot of technology, a lot of information, trying to teach the community to make the right decisions. That's what we do, and we try to find out, especially in cocoa, that is one of the products first important for us, because it's in the forest. You have beautiful people and you have beautiful forests.
And beautiful cacao.
And beautiful cacao. And then why we made a profit company, we have to make it to know what's going on in the business. It was very important for us to make the business, even to teach to the people how to make a company, how to be an entrepreneur, how to make chocolates. It was very, very important, and to feel in the reality what happened in a business. Because normally the NGOs, they forget a little bit of the business, and the business forget what's an NGO. And I think we have to put everything in place. The NGOs has to be in place, and the business has to be in place, because we find that in the field is the best way to work.
And you've now worked, even back in 2008, you'd already been working with 15,000 farmers a year. And since then, you've worked with so many more farmers all over Ecuador.
Yes, we touch almost all the producers of Ecuador. There's 120,000 producers, and we've been working at least with 80,000 producers. To work to so many people, you need a lot of technology. That's what we have. Farm and field schools, DNA of cocoa, a lot of studies of the territory, the beautiful of the SN, the tropical forest, and all and other stuff. The industries, the people who lives there, the companies, small companies of chocolate, and scientists, biologists, everybody.
And you've had this office for a long, long time. Why did you decide to create Conservación y Dessarrollo?
Yeah, we created, it was 25 years ago, a group of thinking people. We were mentors trying to learn what's going on, to help the community, to help the people, even the cities, and to help in the wildlife, in the forest, the people, how to improve their lives, really, how to be happy, how to have a very good life in the forest, even that they are protecting the cities, because really they are protecting the cities. In the forest, you protect the city, and in the city, you have to protect the forest. It's both ways.
Yeah, it's very symbolic.
It's not only one way. And we've been working in the field. And then we decided even to make here the Center of Information and the Center of Development and Investigation, to show the community, to show to the city what's going on in the forest. And that's why we make all this beautiful place that everybody comes, universities, schools, a lot of people, to enjoy and to learn about the country and about the world.
And I think people watching this probably don't know this, that Quito is the capital of Ecuador, and it sits about 8,000 feet high, whereas the Amazon is
It's almost 0 meters. Yeah.
Exactly. And you have cloud forests in between, but really this is very high. It's very far from the forest and looks nothing like a tropical rainforest up here. So people in the city, whether they're here or in Austin, Texas, where we're based, or whether they're in London, New York, or Berlin, they don't really know what a tropical rainforest looks like.
Yeah, it's different. Even here in the city, because you are almost, 9,000 foot up. It's a lot. Our mountains, they have snow all the whole year. Ice all the whole year around. We're in the middle of the world, and it's the altitude in the line is the most altitude. We are in South America, near to Colombia and Peru. Peru is in the south and Colombia is in the north. And Ecuador goes to the Amazon, there is the forest in the Amazon, and the Chocó, they call the Chocó the forest, who is to the coast, to the Pacific Ocean.
Right, and that's very biodiverse and important ecosystem as well. People don't realize that important. It's not just the Amazon, that Ecuador also has a Chocó region that goes into Colombia.
Yes, Colombia to Panama.
Yes, it's
and finish almost in the border of Peru.
It's a very
hot spot.
Yeah, it is a hot spot. In fact, Ecuador is a little hot spot all in one little country.
Yes.
With Galapagos, and you have tropical rainforests, and you have volcanoes, and you have mountains, you have beautiful cloud forests, you have great beaches, and a lot of wildlife of all different kinds.
A lot, everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere, yes. The forest, when you go to the forest here in the tropic, everything's going to be different. It's not only one kind of birds. There's a lot of kind of birds. It's not only one kind of trees. There's a lot of different trees, different plants, different insects. Everything is different. That means you need a lot of information to capture there and to put in the computers.
Of course, when you have all that kind of biodiversity. So we're in the office of Conservación y Dessarrollo. In the front is Aroma Ecuador. This office has been here for a long time. For how long?
We've been here almost 15 years in this office.
And this place used to be special for you. Why is it special?
Because I was born here. I lived here until 5 years old. I think I have very good thinkings about this house.
Yes.
It's very, very spiritual.
And then, so for you, it's very important.
Very important.
And you said that, and the light came on.
Yes, the light came on. It was funny.
The light comes on.
We are lost. Look, we're here.
That's right. It's trying to send you a message, Jose.
Yes.
So, you talked a little bit about why you created Aroma Ecuador. But how is it making a difference? What is it about Aroma Ecuador that is so important, that was so important for you to create, to sort of as an innovation for the nonprofit? Why was that so important for the producers, for Conservación y Dessarrollo, for you personally?
Well, okay, it was for everybody, no? It's a way to have a communication to the other business. It's a communication because you understand more in the business. Everything what does this NGO, it has a collateral business to learn how is the real life. Because it's very hard if you are trying to make a training and consultation to other people without knowing. You have to know what's going on. In that way you can teach better because you have the information. That's what I'm saying, why you teach me about the forest of the cocoa? You don't have a forest in the cocoa, you have a farm, then how you know? Now we have farms that they are making the studies to know what's going on in the real life. Because the world is real life. And you have to know to make the good other assignment to the people, to teach the people in the right way, and to find the people who knows in the real life.
And with Aroma Ecuador, you've managed to do lots of different things. You've been able to reach people in a very different way, right? It's sort of closing the loop because on the one hand, you were working directly with communities and co-ops that were actually producing the cacao and then actually getting them to the people who are turning it into chocolate and whatever other derivatives of cacao there are. But now with Aroma Ecuador, you've got sort of both the scientific base, you've got the community side, You know a lot about where cacao comes from, about aromas, from very specifically about different regions. You know all that. But then you also know how to sell.
Yes. I will say now in the 25 years, most of the production of Ecuador and the technology of Ecuador, we made it. We made the technology like NGO to run in the country. When we started, there was no more than 60,000 tons yearly selling to the world. Now we're selling 300,000 tons. This is a lot. That means we use only 1%. That means we are giving the chocolate for United States, for Europe, for Mexico, for Colombia. Or cocoa goes there. Then it's very important for everybody to protect that forest, because in that forest is the cocoa, and the DNA or all the genetic pool is here in that forest, and the combination of the forest make that special chocolate that everybody takes maybe all days.
Yes.
You go to the store, when you buy that chocolate, it's cacao from Ecuador, most of them, because it's very important for us to make that chocolate. That's why it's so important.
You talked about the aroma. You've talked a little bit about that, and you talked a little bit about how that's where it originates. I think that's really important for people to understand that cacao is not like a plantation plant in a way, because if you do that, you lose the aroma.
You lose the aroma and the genes. You lose the aroma and the genes, because it has a variety of genes, incredible variety of genes. That's why in our studies we have that the theory of the origin of the biologic origin of the cocoa, that will be the Yasuni, the most diversity place in the whole world. In the smallest place, that is Yasuni. Why is so diverse? It has the perfect weather. That means that when all the planet was freeze, it was warm there. When all the planet with the water went up, it was because it has the altitude perfect that the water didn't kill everything. Right. That's why it's very, very important. Imagine in that place, that's why it changed a lot in the Amazon. They were living in the south part, more than 4 million persons.
Yes.
And they disappear in 10 years. Disappear. The water goes so up that they disappear everything. But the Yasuni is upper. And the cocoa and the genes are there. It's warm, it's perfect.
And it survived and it thrived and off it went in different areas. Yeah, I was very intrigued the other day when Carolina, who works in your lab, tasted some chocolate that was supposed to be a particular place, and she tasted, and I saw what she did. She shook her head, and then she said, that's not from that place. Her palate is so developed that she knows what chocolate comes from what region, and it's almost like wine.
It's almost like wine.
Or maybe it is just like wine,
yeah,
probably.
Yesterday we make a cata with the famous Reader cups.
Yes.
Yeah, because here in Ecuador, Reader normally makes in Ecuador makes with Aroma, because everything is special, even the cup, and we have to learn that part. It's part of our history, it's part of us, it's our language of our everything what we feel. We feel in the noise, what we hear, what we look, everything. And we have to be very open to that. And the chocolate is like that. You can take a piece of chocolate and you know where it comes from, the chocolate, but exactly.
And know exactly what little area. And when you taste it and somebody says it's from this area, if you have doubt, you can go to Carolina and she'll say no. And if you didn't trust her palate, you could probably have a genetic diagnosis done, and it would be she would be able to verify, or whoever does that work would be able to verify that cacao came from somewhere else.
Yeah,
and it's
so
incredible
different.
That here in Ecuador, which is the place where cacao was born, and from here it went to all sorts of different places, that you know so much, and you've created it here.
Yeah, the other day, all the guitar company from California went to here. The trip was to come here. And guitar, and everybody went there and very happy. And that kind of visitors we have all the time, scientifics for all parts of the world, Germans, people from India, people from China, all the scientists of the world coming all the time to find out there's a news really to protect the chocolate because everybody loves the chocolate. We have to protect the chocolate.
But to protect the chocolate, the people have to understand to protect good chocolate, not terrible chocolate, but to the good sort of really lovely chocolate with amazing aroma and that taste, you have to protect the forest.
You have to protect the forest, the biodiversity in the forest.
Because the trees coexist in the forest with everything else.
Yeah.
Because the minute you take that out, the aroma. Yeah.
Yeah, the moment that we domesticate the cocoa tree, and we put them out, in that moment we put them out all the flavors and everything.
And that was the difference that I just learned about this morning when you were talking about it, that the cacao from West Africa, which is the highest production in the world, Ivory Coast being first and Ghana, and it's good taste. Some of it, the one from Ghana, is very good, except it doesn't have the aroma.
Yeah, it doesn't have the aroma. And it's very hard to maintain that. And the aroma is the forest, you were saying. Huh?
Yes.
It's the forest, it's the climate, the water, it's the rain. It's the rain, it's the sun, and it's the forest.
So
everything goes around.
How does that
Even
feel?
the love of the people who lives there. That love of the people goes to the trees. And that's the flavor too.
How does that feel for you to be part of, to have created this organization that has done so much and created this ability for so many farmers in this country to have livelihoods and to be able to provide the world with something that people love?
Happy because we made a big job, but we have to make more things, a lot of more things. But we're in the right track. We're in the right track.
What would you tell to the world if you had a message? What would your message be?
We have to go back to our history. We have to go back to the land. We have to go back to understand what's the forest, what the forest means for us. It's true that the science is very important and everything, but we have to use the science in what we need, in our history. The science was made for us to change the history, to make a better history, and we have to use that. Everything we were learning in the cities, we have to bring to the forest because it's part of us. The cities are part of the forest, and the forest is part of the city. And we have to try connecting, and we have to connect the industries. We have to connect this private sector, the government sector, and the NGOs to make the famous fourth sector, saying the Canadians. We have to do that. Yeah. And we have to do that, and we have to help a lot to be happy. It's to be happy. We're saying that we made everything what we can do. And there's a lot of people, beautiful people in the whole world doing perfect things. Let's work with them, and let's do it.
And let's do it together.
Let's do it together.
And let's invite everybody else to come and join us.
Yeah, and chocolates, a lot of chocolates and chocolates and chocolates.
Eat good chocolate, but demand good chocolate that comes from good practices, that comes from people who've used sustainable practices and have put their hearts and souls and their livelihoods into growing that for the rest of you all over the world, all of us to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Jose. It's always so nice, and I just wanted to share with everybody a little bit about. Yeah, you always have so much information, and I always have so many questions for you. Yes, and it's always lovely to talk to you and see you, of course. And as Leonard said, it's like, friends. Even if we don't see each other for a few years, it's great friendship between Seide and RP and you all and all of us, and so.
We have the same goals, then that's why,
Yes. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Our Planet, Our Future, brought to you by Rainforest Partnership. From Niyanta Spelman and the Rainforest Partnership team, thank you for joining us.